looking at how standards from the global north diffuse into the global south. My name's Haider Alvi. I'm a professor of innovation finance at the Faculty of Business. Global North and Global South are a conceptual shorthand for expressing the 20% of the world that was colonizing the 80%. So that 20%, Europe, North America, you could throw that in there, that's Global North. And everything else is the Global South. I'm a child of the Global South on some level. My parents were immigrants from South Asia. So I grew up in Canada and got my education here. I got my MBA and my law degree. And then I had classmates who were working in banking in Asia, and they said, well, you should really come out. So I packed my whole life into 2 suitcases and went to Jakarta. Then the crisis hit in '97. To see a middle class wiped out like that was just like, this is unbelievable. So that made me inspired to want to make a difference, to try and understand what was happening, and decided to, 10 years later, go into academia. There are assumptions that our way of doing things is the right way, is the correct way. And we don't necessarily realize the historical legacies that we're projecting our standards onto. These global north standards then become hybridized and changed to local contexts. And from a business point of view, we don't always step back to understand how that's impacting our business. And instead it's sort of like, well, why don't these people get it? Rather than, hey, how do we adapt this to make it work in this local institutional context? I think we need to be a little more humble and recognize that we're sitting on the gains of centuries of colonial exploits, which included, harm to the planet. And now we're playing catch up, and we can't be victim blaming and saying to the global south that you can't do this, you can't do that, and we're going to tell you very paternalistically what we need to do. They need to have a seat at the table and be equal partners in strategizing and coming up with the way forward. And I think we have an awareness that we can't keep doing things the way we've been doing. And in a time when we have whole planet problems like climate change, we need whole planet solutions. The nation state is not well equipped to do that. The nation state is self-interested by definition. So business has an important role in finding a way to make things a little more sustainable, a little more equitable. And that's where, hopefully, research can help inform some of that decision-making, and we can make better decisions. No one has a crystal ball. It's never going to be perfect, but we're just trying to be better.